Hello, my name is John Hammond, and I am in charge of InGen, the company that you now work for. Your job is quite simple, really. Build a park, create dinosaurs, and entertain people.
Well, we said there was a big new surprise coming, and we weren't kidding. Jurassic World Evolution 3 is getting its very own island generator mechanic. Yes, they are dropping huge new features less than 2 weeks before the game launches, which is sheer madness, but also kind of awesome, and very unlike Frontier, it must be said. The content you're seeing here was posted as part of a Sony exclusive preview of the generator, but I and the other humans were lucky enough to see it in action at the Frontier event last week. And it really is just a very cool, fully working island generator. It's essentially and clearly inspired by the one from Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, of course, with largely the same controls as well. We've got island shape, we've got rivers, we've got mountains, we've got trees. And of course, increasing the bar on those increases how many you get of each of those different things. The shape controls basically how square the island becomes, how much land mass there is. I will say it doesn't go as square as JPOG did. If you maxed it out on JPOG, it was a big square block basically. You don't get that so much anymore. They still retain that somewhat natural shaping even at the maximum setting. And you'll be sticking with tropical islands. For now, these are the only ones available. But yes, you can build on all of the land you can see here. It'll really be the first time we can have a fully built island park, the entire island landmass buildable on, at least since the likes of Isla Peña back in the first game. Each island also comes with its own unique code you can share, so if you make a shape you're particularly happy with, you can share it with others. We could even do park building challenges to see who can design the best park on the specific island shape. And to boot, these parks will also be shareable much the same way that your regular sandbox parks will also be shareable. Now, this is all very exciting. I do have one small criticism from my time, seeing this content in action, and I think it could get changed over time, so we'll see. But as you can see on the images here, the maps are split pretty distinctly into these raised bits of terrain and then these deep cut rivers that actually come in from the ocean. Now as it stands, those rivers are permanent and the raised land is basically the quote unquote buildable terrain. So if you want to build across your whole island and you've got the one that's in like all these different sections, then you're going to have to connect those islands with monorails, with zip lines, with the hyperloop and such. It would be cool to have it a tiny bit more customizable, maybe make the rivers blend in but be editable a little bit if possible. But I do think it's very cool this exists in the first place. It was very unexpected, especially this late in the game. I just want to have a little bit more control than what we currently get. But it feels picky to complain, I'm not going to pretend otherwise. But it's worth pointing out just so people don't get the wrong impression. Now there's not really much else on this, but before we go, the PlayStation blog also dropped some new screenshots of the game in general, focusing on the new ray-traced sun shadows. In this before and after of the Uteranus, you can see the impact of them here. The main difference is some of the shadows are a lot sort of softer where appropriate, and they interact more realistically with the environment. My big hope as ever with the shadows is that they'll be viewable from a much longer distance as well. If you look at the shadows on this image instead, if you look in the lower right, it's a lot easier to see, I think. Those softer shadows cast by the foliage rather than the less realistic hard lines on the before image. I know some people won't care about this stuff or really even see the difference, but I always enjoy this little stuff, little graphical upgrades that we pick up. Our final of the new images is this beautiful new shot of the Sisychosaurus, and again you can see that sort of separation between hard and soft shadows, the light sort of more naturally falling across the dinosaurs. Don't want to spend too long on this, just want to show you the images more than anything else. Really, we're here for the island generating, of course. I'd love to see it expanded down the line, maybe some new terrain types, let us make little desert islands and stuff like that, not just tropical. But more than that, just a little bit more building freedom, the ability to edit into those rivers, maybe lower parts of the island, build on the beaches, all that kind of jazz. Not 100% sure about the beaches. They might be buildable, they might not. I think not. But it's still a very cool feature, one that's been on the community wishlist for 8 years or something like that. What are your thoughts on it? How much will you make use of this brand new gameplay mechanic, and how much do we now need working bridges in this game? I've got to imagine that'll be coming down the line. The game is absolutely made for it more and more. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. I'll see you lovely folks very soon. Cheers much as always. Bye bye.